Hello, is this thing on? I don't know if I'm ever gonna really make videos every day of me talking about a new topic every day or some shit like that. Because honestly, yesterday was a spur of the thing moment. But I think that all opportunities in life kind of start like that. A spur of, oh my god, that was awful. Spur of the thing kind of moments. Right? Stuff you just want to do. I've been making YouTube videos since I was 12 years old. 12 years old? I don't know. Spur of the moment, right? Why not just make another YouTube video? So I don't know what the hell I'm going to talk about, but I thought of, like, for a minute about what I was going to talk about today before I hit the record button. And I think addictions is something that I've seen a lot of people deal with. And not like fucking crack cocaine or heroin or fent or anything like that. I'm talking like the weak stuff. I don't know why I picked there. I shouldn't talk about the game while I'm doing this, but like cigarettes, vaping, quote unquote, alcoholism, drinking diet soda every day, stuff like that. I just saw something where it was like, if you drink diet soda every day, like a liter once a week or something, you're more likely to forget everything in your life by the time you're like 65, or you get dementia super quick. That's what it was. Get dementia really, really quick. And you know, I've drank a lot of Diet Coke in my life, so I may have dementia. But you know, people ask me why I study languages, or well, why I study Japanese, or why I'm so interested in studying even after I've graduated from college. And I think it's so that I can offset the amount of Diet Coke I've drank during high school, so I don't get dementia, right? Wow. Yeah, I don't play CS. But I think that almost every single person I know is addicted to something, whether it's vaping, cigarettes, alcohol, gooning, as the kids would say now. This porn addiction's real. I think that it's very hard to break out of addiction when you aren't going through a lot of changes in your life. If you're someone who's in high school and you've got somehow vaping or smoking cigarettes or drinking and you're getting addicted to it, or even weed, right? Like, once you go to college, if you want to make a change, I feel like it's very easy to go, yep, I'm in a new place surrounded by new people. I'm going to focus on school and I'm going to quit and just go cold turkey, right? Or if you go through a breakup, you go, you know, new me, I'm going to quit it. And you can kind of cold turkey through the first couple of weeks. But I think when you become an adult and you have mundane day after day after day after day, it tends to be a lot harder to break those habits. If your days go by like the snap of a finger, you ain't ever breaking that tobacco addiction. You're going to be putting dip in your lip every single lunch break and every time you go home. You know what I mean? Like, it just becomes habit when you get a job. And the only way you can really change that, or maybe have the same change, like if you were in high school going into college or something like that, is if you change your job. And you know, that's not an option for everyone. You know, sometimes the health insurance is too good at the job you work at, and you have kids, so you can't, it's a big, pretty serious thing to change your job, right? So you just kind of keep your addiction with that as well. And I think that you can go to counseling and stuff like that for addiction. You can find whatever ways you want to break it. Maybe chewing gum, right? I met a guy who, instead of smoking cigarettes, he would chew gum. And he's come up to me a couple of times and been, man, you got to give me a piece of gum. I'm about to smoke a cigarette. I need a piece of gum right now. Because little Terry over there is offering me a cigarette, and I I need a piece of gum, and also Terry's an asshole. But anyways, yeah, I think if you go that route, like, it's really good. It's great that you're taking a step forward, but if other things don't change in your life, I feel sometimes it may be a little bit hard to beat addiction. You know, for me, I've always been a person who doesn't change my attitude per se or who I am, but I change my hobbies a lot, or sometimes I change the people I surround myself with, right? The people you surround yourself with can either really encourage your addictions or really beat them for you. So, you know, if I work at a place where a lot of people smoke, and if everyone smokes, you know, you're gonna want to start smoking. When I was studying abroad, my entire basketball group smoked. Out of 12 guys, well, there's more than 12, but the 12 we'd always hang out with, out of 12 guys, 11 of them smoked, including me. You know, addiction is something that can ruin lives for sure, and it sure as hell costs a lot of money, even if it's something small. But I don't know, maybe everything is an addiction in life, right? Like I said yesterday, balance is the most important thing. If you don't have balance, little yin to your yang, your life's gonna collapse, right? You're gonna get no-scoped. So, gotta take the good with the bad and try to break addictions. And I'm rambling. I've probably said the same thing about 4 to 5 times. Man, it's hard to like change your concentration between a game and talking. I mean, I know all those other YouTubers pre-record their gameplay and then they talk over it. But, you know, I sometimes struggle with speaking my mind clearly, and kind of why I'm doing this as well, so that I can speak my mind clearly while I do something else. This is something I struggle with a little bit. But back to the topic. Addiction is everywhere. Not every addiction looks like crack cocaine. Mr. Zachary, duh, addiction is everywhere. You're not some brave soldier for saying that. Wow, how brave. I mean, yeah, but I think things like Twitter, social media can be an addiction. YouTube can be an addiction. There's one guy I watch on YouTube that does Pomodomo studying sessions, and he has an entire video on how he broke his YouTube addiction. And my ass is still like addicted to YouTube in a way, right? Like, I love watching YouTube, man. It gets in the way of my life a lot, I feel. But moderation. You should not do cocaine in moderation. Maybe only alcohol and gum and Diet Coke and maybe cigarettes. I feel like nobody does just like one cigarette, right? No one's like, oh, let me just smoke like one cigarette every 3 days. Like, no one's like that, right? So maybe not. Only the people that are, I'm drunk, give me a cigarette. It's my friend Dan, by the way. Anyways, what else? Same joke as yesterday. I'm padding to the 10-minute mark. That doesn't exist anymore. I feel like a lot of YouTubers come out with their addictions. Actually, no, I think a lot of them don't. But it's always funny when they kind of, well, not funny. I think it's always brave when they do, right? Oh my God. I think I've had a few addictions in my life. You know, nothing bad, but you know, I quit smoking cigarettes. I've quit vaping before. I've quit alcoholism. I don't know. What else? I used to be addicted to like protein powder or just, but you know, that's the other thing, man. Like everything that's protein right now is so expensive. It's fucking crazy. Protein is just like some magic word for people to put into products now and slap like a $2 extra charge to everything. It's crazy, man. Like protein is such a high valued substance in food now. It's absolutely nuts. Like even if it has like 5 grams of protein, right? Maybe like 1 gram more because they barely changed the formula, right? Like it's I think it's absurd. But people want to buy protein, and you know, I've been quote unquote addicted to protein where when I was working out a lot trying to get my protein numbers up, that my like liver started to get fucked. Like, it's yeah, eating disorders are wild. Maybe that's a topic for another video. I've met a lot of people with eating disorders before. How do you live a healthy life in what year are we? 2025? Yeah. How do you live a healthy life? Some may argue you can't. Fully mentally well, fully healthy body, fully, I don't know, making decent salary. Like how do you do it, you know? I think that there's I can't aim. I think I can't aim. I think it's very hard for people to do that. And I'm not surprised that like a lot of people are mentally ill now. Has our quality of life gone better in the past 20 years? I don't know. You decide. Who's next? You decide. Man, that one epic rap battles of history video was crazy, wasn't it? Where the one guy dressed up as Hitler. Why would you voluntarily dress up as Hitler? That guy had some balls. I'm just stealing a tweet I saw from like 3 days ago. Maybe I'm addicted to Twitter. I don't know. Yeah. I think in our little whatever gooner society, I think porn addiction is crazy rampant now, and it's not talked about enough, man. If you got a porn addiction, go to church. That shit will heal you right away. Or not, I don't know. Get like counseling. But hey, you know, if going to church works for you to as your like counseling, that's great. I think it's a great thing. Yeah. What else? What else about porn addiction? Yeah, the porn industry's fucking really bad. Did I just do Ring Around the Rosie with this guy? Oh my god. Ring around. Okay. No, I'm having fun with my friend. Yeah. It's like a really awful industry where people get abused a lot and forced to do things they don't want to do for not the amount of money they deserve. And I think that's crazy. I really do. And I feel like stuff like that is very much similar to like what people say about drugs. Is that you always want more, or you always want something that's harder, or can give you that like edge a little bit more, so you start getting into some weird shit. But, I don't know. I had the reaction time of a fucking slug there. See that? What else? What other big addiction can I talk about for another 3 minutes? Cocaine. I've never done cocaine. And I've only known 2 guys who have done it. And cocaine is, from what I've heard, seems like it is not like coffee, but it's like a bad coffee. Where you need it to survive to such an extent that it, well, need it to survive, to say. you need it to remain focused that it becomes such a hindrance on you and starts affecting your body that you start to not sleep or have things that are worse. I'm not a doctor. I don't know that much about cocaine because I grew up in Wisconsin, and the amount they teach us about drugs and sex ed is absolutely fucking zero. So, yeah, I don't know. What other addictions are there that are facing our youth today besides besides cocaine and porn? I feel like you can say people are addicted to politics now, right? People are like love politicians so much now. It is absolutely crazy. Also, I think people like celebrities a lot now, like to a crazy extent, right? Like to an extent where they make their entire like Oshi culture is wild. Should I talk about this? I don't know. I read a book a little while ago. It's called Oshi Moyu, and it's about an idol fan who struggles with some health complications. I'm not gonna say what, but they literally dedicate every single thing in their life to this one person who is their Oshi. And if you don't know what Oshi is like your like idol, the person you idolize a bunch. And yeah, it kind of ruined her life in the end. Well, it's kind of left up to reader's discretion on what happened to her. But you know, at the end, she kind of loses everything, that entire life she had built off of her idol. And you know, things can fall down really quick in life. So my thoughts were not written down at all for this. I'm just spouting nonsense as I somewhat try to focus on CSGO. So cool. I'm gonna go back to studying.